Well, what are the purple people eaters going to talk about today, Steve?
We are going to talk about cryptocurrency.
Cool.
We're going to touch base on, actually there's a Bitcoin conference we're going to talk about.
Bitcoin conference going on.
Decentraland.
Decentraland.
And,
Dun, 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 dun.
well, we're talking about Dogecoin.
Dogecoin.
And Bitcoin a little bit too.
Yep.
So
yeah.
Just lots of nuggets in this show.
Check it out. Welcome to the Steve and Steve Show. I'm Steve Wastenberg.
And I'm Steve Walsh. Thanks for finding us. If you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button. And certainly if you do like what we have to say, or even if you don't like what we have to say, add a comment either way, because we'd like to hear from you. And it certainly helps with our algorithm numbers that we're
And we need those things moving, right? Because YouTube is so kind to people like us, giving us so many good looks. Hey, Steve, I'm purple. You're purple. There's a purple orchid behind us. This was not orchestrated, but it looks like it was.
It's funny because I was thinking that same thing. So, Steve, what's the topic for today?
I don't know. You said you had one, so I'm going to go with it.
That's true. I did have that topic. So,
what's the topic?
I think the topic's going to be crypto.
Crypto, like
cryptocurrency type stuff.
Cryptocurrency. All right, let's talk about cryptocurrency. I like that stuff.
So, tell me, you stay in tune with the crypto market. I
do.
Yeah. Just as we were hitting record here, you mentioned about a conference. So what's going on in the crypto world?
Well, so right now in Miami, they're doing it's called Bitcoin, the Bitcoin conference that happens every year. The whole Wuhan thing, COVID, kind of put a damper on it last year. It was more Zoom-like. This year, they're actually live in Miami. In fact, today and yesterday, and have a lot of speakers, and it's a lot larger than it was, in earlier
couple years ago.
Yeah.
So what are the topics they cover at crypto?
Well, this one is all about Bitcoin. So this is the Bitcoin conference. So when I say all about, the majority of it is on Bitcoin. They run into some of the other altcoins, but most of it is talking about Bitcoin and what is happening with Bitcoin.
Okay, and potentially is it like a normal conference where they have vendors where like how to use crypto in your business?
They do have some vendors. Most of the speakers are more people that are very involved in the evolution of Bitcoin. But there's always kind of sponsors and companies that are on the second layer of the Bitcoin blockchain of the what's called the Lightning Network and various other kind of layer 2.
We should go there one year.
Oh, I wish that we would have gone this year. Next year, we need to make it happen.
Yeah, that sounds like a cool
thing. The challenge is it's worldwide. So it was in Miami this year, and who knows where it's going to be next year.
Okay.
Well, the first one was in Amsterdam. Which is kind of interesting. Wow, I just spilled that all over me. As long as it's a place that
we can get to, we'll go to it.
Sounds good.
Another question I have for you is you've mentioned something about, I'm drawing a blank now, like cryptoland.
Oh, Decentraland.
Decentraland.
Yes, Decentraland.
Yeah, so tell me about that one.
Sure. So a lot of the folks that are in our huge viewership have probably heard of a program called Minecraft. Back in the day, Minecraft was like really the cat's meow for gaming kind of world. Do you remember Minecraft?
Yep. My kids played it.
And I think they still actually
do. What reminded me, what's funny is that you see Minecraft and you look at the screen and the block figures, right, that they're doing, and then you go over and look at some of the stuff that you would think would be modern. It's like really crystal clear, almost lifelike images.
The
and then there's Minecraft that they're playing that look like maybe a Commodore 64 or VIC-20.
Yeah, Atari. Right? Atari Pong. If any of you folks out there ever used Pong back in the day.
Yeah.
No, you're absolutely right. And yet, they're in there and they're building. I think it's the ability to build something and create it.
Yeah. So how does that relate back to Decentraland?
Yeah. So Minecraft, of course, is by a company that actually is a centralized company that you subscribe to and you get onto Minecraft, and you are able to build on there. Decentraland is a decentralized virtual world, and so the people that go there, you have an avatar, and you're not, but you're not like identified in the sense of this group on Decentraland is controlling you. It's actually a world that is growing from decentralized nodes that are out there. And on there you can interact with people. Atari's got a place, you can buy real estate there. You know, there's virtual real estate. You can set up a shop, and then you trade in this money that is called mana. And that mana is actually a tradable cryptocurrency in Coinbase and various other exchanges.
So the Decentraland is a virtual world.
It is a virtual world, yes.
And people are buying kind of like real estate in this virtual world and advertising and having conferences. And
really cool. I mean, you'll have a billboard that shows up as you're wandering through there that says, you know, advertises for something, or it might advertise for a concert that is a live concert done in Decentraland by some musician.
It's in a way, I mean, and certainly there's value there, otherwise people wouldn't be spending money in it, right? But it does sound kind of on the sketchy side, right? Being a virtual world and buying and selling real estate. Now, there's real money that they're converting into mana, and mana is being traded.
Yeah, in fact, I can tell you, mana right now, the price of one mana is...
During this recording,
of course, is 81 cents. Less than a year ago, that was in the pennies, like 4 cents, 5 cents. So yeah, it's real money.
So I bet
real
the virtual
currency.
Gas is cheaper than our real gas.
I think it probably is, because it's not inflated. You're right. Yeah, we don't have that inflation. And you know, if you've got a currency that you buy virtual gas in, or you buy a piece of virtual real estate, and you bought it at what would compare to the U.S. dollar in, let's say, 10 cents, and now your mana that you bought it with is up at 81 cents.
How does somebody...
It's gone as high as $1.60.
So how does somebody put trust into Decentraland?
Yeah, it's... first, you've got to go in, you know, create your account, create a little avatar. It's really simple to do. It's dectraland.com. And you go in and you create that person, and then you just start wandering around in there. And I'm telling you, the folks that are like Minecraft, the folks that are on Minecraft, this would come to them like, wow, this is simple stuff. Yeah. The only thing would be they'd got to get some mana to be able to buy, and you earn mana too by doing things.
And because mana is traded on exchanges like Bitcoin and others, right? Then you can pull the mana out of Decentraland and convert it?
Absolutely. So let's say you went to Coinbase, which is a centralized exchange where you can buy Bitcoin and various things, and you buy your mana there with real US dollars. You could then move that mana, and this isn't the only way you can get mana, but I'm just giving you an example. You can move that mana into a wallet that is connected on your Decentraland account. Uphold is one of those wallets. And then that wallet is available as you wander through Decentraland and you see some plot of land, you decide, I'm going to buy that.
So you could actually, with like real property, real estate, you can buy that land that's in Decentraland, hold it for a little bit, it appreciates in value, sell that land.
If there's a buyer.
And then now you've turned the amount of mana you started with, which would be more valued, right?
Absolutely.
So it's a way, there's a possibility there of investing in Decentraland, doing some stuff inside there, and actually making a little bit of money.
And that's the tip of the iceberg. Yes, there is. There's a thing called NFTs, or non-fungible tokens, which are kind of all the rage now. And those are in Decentraland as well. So think of that as a piece of art or a video that is not changeable because it's done, but that actually is tokenized as an NFT within, and we don't want to get too deep into this, but it now has value in Decentraland that you could go and sell within Decentraland.
Interesting. All right.
There's museums in there.
I'm going to switch gears because that's one topic that I want to touch base. And so a third topic, because we talked about the conference first. The next topic I want to talk about, there's this big rage about Dogecoin.
Oh, dear Lord. Yeah.
So So, and that was in the news a while ago. I don't know if it's still hot in the news or not, but I wanted to kind of get a quick update on what's going on with Dogecoin.
Elon, the crazy man Musk, who, full disclosure, I like his cars and stuff, but I don't know, he is off the rails on this.
In what way? Positive or negative? Or it depends on the day.
I suppose it really does depend on the day. This talk about Dogecoin and then, kind of his act around abandoning Bitcoin, that's too strong to say, but certainly not talking about Bitcoin as is becoming less legit in his comments, whether it is in his mind or not, I don't know. And then going and promoting, hey, I'm really getting behind the folks at Dogecoin. I mean, let's just give you understand one of the challenges with the fiat currency is the continual re-entry of currency into the market, right? Mm-hmm. Which makes for the currency to devalue, right?
Right.
Dogecoin, by design, has 10,000 coins created every minute.
So it's devalued.
Like it's built into it to be just devalued. So you go and you buy Dogecoin, and there's 10,000 that's in it. And by the way, there's no cap to that.
Oh, interesting.
So it is like a non-stop influx. Now, somebody's going to argue, well, yeah, isn't that just like the US dollar? Okay, yeah, so that's what you want to do in some kind of a... It is the clowniest thing. Now, am I going to say that I've never speculated in Dogecoin? No, I'm not going to say that I haven't. Because let's face it, if you buy it and it doubles...
I think anything that started out as a joke should be very cautiously of.
Probably should remain a joke, and probably at some point it's going to be a joke again, right?
Yeah, I mean, on somebody.
Bitcoin was never a joke, all right? It was a very, very serious initiative, and so yeah, I don't get it. I honestly, I think it's indicative of our world today. We everything kind of becomes a joke of not everything, but lots of things become kind of a joke. Well, Dogecoin's a great,
definitely unbelievable, and maybe like that kind of gets down to that disruption in the industry.
Yeah.
Right. Because certainly on the trading side, it's a cryptocurrency was a disruption in industry, right? Something new that came along. Uber is a good example of that disruption in the taxi or the rental car industry.
Amazon
definitely,
in the logistics and
and we can go a number of businesses. Netflix also, right, kind of killed the movie rental business.
I hate to put Dogecoin anywhere. I'm not sure where the analogy goes because Dogecoin
just that it's that disruptor piece. So it's early. And Dogecoin is one of how many currencies.
It depends
out there,
on the day.
Right?
9,000 last count.
Yeah. So it's just a new era of what our community, our society is into.
Yeah.
So, all right, Steve. Yeah. Well, I think we hit 3 topics, maybe.
Well,
4.
I would say this, that I go real quick back to, there's a lot of talk and a lot of kind of fear, uncertainty, and doubt around, say, Bitcoin, which is the one I really love. And then on other days, there's that FOMO of, fear of missing out on getting Bitcoin. Regardless of the price of Bitcoin, the fundamentals of it have not changed since it came out. And that is the key thing, I think, for people that they need to really educate themselves on, because whether you think it is an incredibly speculative play or not, and by the way, that argument could be really has to be seriously looked at. If you look at the trend of Bitcoin over the last 12 years, the trend is ridiculous. If you had bought any time in there,
I think just in the last 9 months,
even the last 9 months. But it's funny because what people don't remember is in early 2017, if you'd have bought Bitcoin, you'd have got it for about $1,000. By the end of it, it had been a 20x because it went to $20,000. Early 2021 or even in 2020, maybe you got it at your best case scenario
in October of 2020.
$9,000?
$9,000, $10,000.
Okay, so
right, and now it's in the 30 something,
Right,
just
and
under 40.
And it got as high as 60, so
got
that's a 6x,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But if you look on a chart and you see the spike in 2017, it's a lot smaller than the spike that is now, but the returns are incredible.
Yeah. I saw a chart, the adaptability chart, right? You have the early adapters.
Oh, adoptability, yeah.
Yeah. So you have those, and it's, the curve is out there, right? If you have the early adapters?
Early adopters.
And then the next phase.
Are that's the early adopters.
Yeah,
but
but
before that are the
like pioneers. Yeah, pioneers. So we're in. The chart says we're in the early adapter stage, right? It hasn't quite got to the top. And
not even close.
But we're on that, starting to rise, where a lot of people are getting in. Not a whole lot, but just enough to classify it into the early adapter phase.
Well, I think that right now the number is about 100 million people in the whole world
that are into some sort of
into
crypto or Bitcoin.
Bitcoin specifically.
Yeah.
And so if there are 100 million in the whole world, and there are 8 billion now, 9 billion in the world, we're pretty early. Pretty darn
Yeah, I have
early.
to think about the billions. It's like, maybe that is the number.
And the cool thing about Bitcoin is, unlike other monies, if you look at how many people have a cell phone in the world, which is really the determiner for whether or not you could get Bitcoin, it isn't whether you have a bank account or anything else, it's whether you have some access to the blockchain. And that is like 4 billion people, 4 or 5 billion people have a cell phone. This is the most incredible opportunity for people to be banked in Bitcoin in the history of the world. In the history of the world, it's never happened like this. So anyway, I just wanted to, I was going somewhere with that, and
All right. Well, we talked about a bunch of things. And so, like any investment, certainly do your homework, do your research. Nothing that we gave you was advice other than just information for you to think about.
But that was what I wanted to say, is that the fundamentals of Bitcoin, whether it's gone up or down, have not changed. And it's worthwhile going out there and learning about the fundamentals of Bitcoin.
Like going to a Bitcoin conference.
Absolutely.
Right? I think
Or
all those
reading
people are
books
going
about
out
it. There's
there
tons of them out there.
Research and trade ideas. And
just finished a great one called Layered Money, really, by Nick Batia. Really a great book on it.
so one of the things we need to do is wrap up versus introducing another
Let's
topic.
wrap up before we introduce a whole nother one. People, cheers.
Yep.
Hope
Thanks
you're having
for
a-
getting this far in the video, and hitting subscribe if you haven't done that. And certainly if you liked what we said, hit a comment. If you have your opinion, or you think Bitcoin or Dogecoin or even Decentraland, if you know a little bit about that and you want to throw a comment in the bottom, certainly do that.
Yeah.
This Steve will be happy to answer that comment.
And this Steve will do it as well, even though he acts like he can't.
Well, I said happy to.
I will be happy.
All right, Steve.
Cheers.
Cheers.